It is finally here, the Burning Crusade. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to finally talk about my favorite expansion, and I'm sure for many of you, yours too. My name is Numedia, and there is a lot to uncover here, so let's kick things off right away. Burning Crusade will be the next installment of Classic WoW's lifespan. We will get to go through the Dark Portal for the first time in 13 years and experience all that Outland has to offer. BlizzCon just concluded, and there was a lot of information thrown at us regarding the future of Classic WoW and Classic TBC. But don't worry, I am here to make it as simple and concise as possible for you to understand. I will go over everything mentioned so you can have a clear picture of how the game is going to release. So let's get into it. Probably the most important motto here is the notion of hashtag some changes, literally mentioned word for word by Holly Longdale, lead producer of Classic WoW. Ever since Classic WoW was first announced in BlizzCon 2017, both the community and Blizzard was all on board for the notion of no changes, keeping the game as intact as possible to avoid messing with the feel of the game and the authenticity. But as the game released and as players bit through the content, we quickly learned the hard way that keeping the game strictly no changes was good on paper, but felt really clunky on practice. So Blizzard announced that they would change their philosophy going forward for Classic TBC, bringing many needed changes that will make the game more enjoyable for everyone. Let's go over some of those changes. Number 1. Content release schedule. Originally, Burning Crusade came with a lot of content available from the get-go, including Serpentine Caverns, Tempest Keep, and even Mount Hyjal. That wasn't a problem back in the day because players were having a hard time dealing with the bugs and the lack of knowledge in these tiers of content, making it very hard to progress, which stretched the lifetime of the game by a lot. I am so excited to tell you that Blizzard decided to split the Tier 4 and Tier 5 content phases, giving us Karazhan, Gruul's Lair, and Mechtheridon at the launch of Classic TBC in Phase 1. And then later on in Phase 2, Serpentine Caverns and Tempest Keep with the Tier 5 content. Phase 3 with Black Temple and Mount Hyjal and Arena Season 2. Phase 4 with Zulaman and Season 3 of PvP. And Phase 5 with Sunwell and Season 4 of PvP. Blizzard did not mention Arena Season 1 and whether that would be coming with Phase 1 or Phase 2, but I think it's safe to assume that it will be available at launch in Phase 1. Number 2. Raiding will be changed to be made more challenging. Brian Birmingham mentioned the fact that raiders really matured in modern days, and that was evident by the fact of how fast raids were cleared in Classic. So for Burning Crusade, to accommodate for more knowledge and experience with raiding, raids will be made more challenging. The WoW Classic team is aiming to fix bugs that were present in encounters, but avoid any nerfs that were made originally to make the fights easier. The example of Muru in Sunwell was given, where Muru originally had a lot of damage going on, so there was a lot of spell pushback happening, which made it really tough to bring caster classes to the fight. They did fix that at some point, and then later made the fight furthermore easy by nerfing Muru's health. Their plan is to bring the first change regarding the fix of the spell pushback, but not the second change regarding Muru's nerf to his health. So we should expect something similar to happen to many raid encounters, where their bugs will be fixed, but they will be kept to their original unnerfed state to make them more challenging. Number 3. Spell batching will be removed. We already knew about this with the recent blue post. This change will actually be implemented very soon in Classic. For those who don't know what spell batching is, in very simple terms, the Classic WoW devs attempted to keep the game authentic by bringing some clunky behavior that was originally present with vanilla, where the batch windows were so large that you could, for example, have two mages polymorph each other because they both casted polymorph at the same batch window. This introduced a lot of frustration for many players throughout Classic, because it made the game feel more clunky in general. And it is one of those changes that looked good on paper, but very bad on practice, so Blizzard will be removing that for TBC. Number 4. Seal of the Martyr for Alliance. This is a very exciting change that the community has been asking about for months now, and Blizzard listened and agrees. Originally, Paladins of the Horde had an ability specific to them called Seal of Blood. Long story short, this made Retribution Paladins quite a bit stronger on Horde side, creating an imbalance of power between factions on this front. Blizzard announced that Paladins of the Alliance will be receiving their version of Seal of Blood, called Seal of the Martyr, to create create more balance between the two factions and not feel like you have to go Horde to be competitive as a Red Paladin. Very exciting change, thank you Blizzard. And I'm sure a certain Paladin is very happy about this too. Number 5. Blood Elves and Draenei coming early in pre-patch. Originally in TBC, Blood Elves and Draenei were launched along with the launch of the expansion, making it quite challenging to join raids early on, as you had to level through Azeroth from 1 to 60 and then from 60 to 70 in Outland, while your guildmates had only 10 levels to go through in Outland. Not going to happen in Classic TBC. Blizzard announced that Draenei and Blood Elves will be able to be played during the pre-patch before the expansion launch, giving you enough time to reach level 60 and join your guildies in time for leveling and raiding in Outland. Again, a change that the community has been asking for months, and Blizzard delivered. Number 6. Arena teams receiving tweaks. So, originally, arena teams could only contain as many players as your team allowed for. If you made a 3v3 team, you could only have 3 players. If you made a 5v5 team, you could only have 5 players, and so on. This was changed very late in the expansion, and Blizzard will be introducing that from the get-go with Classic TBC. This will allow teams to be more flexible with their schedule, to not have to rely on everyone being available to play. Along with this change, Blizzard is also considering moving to a personal rating system instead of a team rating system. This is not confirmed to come, but Blizzard is considering it for TBC to avoid certain issues with the ladders that happened in TBC. Now let's move on to more general things announced for Classic WoW and Classic TBC. First off, there was no specific date given for Classic TBC, but the plan is to release this in 2021. Blizzard wants to avoid giving a date and demotivating players from doing Naxxramas as it happened originally, but obviously there have been some leaks in the past suggesting a May 4th, 2021 release date. This is not confirmed, but it is coming from some reputable sources, so take this with a grain of salt. Beta will be coming soon too. Classic TBC will have its own beta very soon, where players will be able to give feedback and help with the development of the game. Next up, let's talk about probably the most confusing part about this BlizzCon announcement, the future of Classic WoW. So, I will try to break it down for you very simply. As soon as Classic TBC will release, you will get the choice on each one of your characters to either have that character move to TBC or stay in Classic Vanilla forever. If you want to have that character be present in both versions of the game, you will be able to do that by paying a service to have your character copied to both versions of the game. The current Classic WoW servers will always be progressing to whichever new expansion Blizzard will release. So, if you play on Paygle US or Pyrowood Village EU for example, those servers will always keep progressing to newer and newer expansions. How far is Blizzard going to go through the expansions has not been said. Will they stop at Wrath of the Lich King? Will they go to Cataclysm? Maybe Mists of Pandaria? We don't know yet. Blizzard did not talk about fresh new Classic Vanilla servers either. They only mentioned launching new Classic Era servers where you will get to keep your character into them if you choose to. So this is suggesting that those Classic Era servers will be on Phase 6 from the launch, since you would have a character with Tier 3 gear from Naxxramas for example if you chose to keep that character. So whether there will be fresh progressive vanilla servers from Phase 1 to Phase 6 is still unknown. Finally, Blizzard announced that you will also be able to purchase a level 58 boost for the Classic TBC servers if you wish, avoiding you the hassle of leveling through the old world content and taking you directly to the Dark Portal. This service will not be available for Draenei and Blood Elves, and the price is yet to be announced, but boosts are known to be very expensive on retail, $60 to be precise. Whether Blizzard will decide to keep that price for Classic is yet to be discovered. So in conclusion, to go over everything I said very quickly, Classic TBC will be coming in 2021 and the beta will start very soon. There will be an overall philosophy shift going from no changes to some changes. There will be 5 phases of content with Kara, Mag and Gruul in Phase 1 and probably Season 1 of Arena, SSC and Tempest Keep in Phase 2, Black Temple and Hyjal in Phase 3 along with Season 2 of Arena, Zulaman and Season 3 in Phase 4, and finally Sunwell and Season 4 in Phase 5. Raiders have matured and so will raids in Classic TBC, with encounters made intentionally more challenging to accommodate for modern players' knowledge. Seal of Blood will be available on Alliance side, called Seal of the Martyr, and Seal of Vengeance will also be on Horde side. Draenei and Blood Elves will be available to create and level during pre-patch. Arena teams will be changed to accommodate for more players in a team, and possibly moving from a team rating system to a personal rating system. You will be able to make a choice for each of your characters on whether you want to keep them in vanilla or move them to TBC. No plans announced for fresh Classic Vanilla or Classic TBC servers. 2 new paid services introduced, with a level 58 boost service for Classic TBC and a character copy service to both Classic TBC and Classic Vanilla. This should be all. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments, and if you have a question, I will be happy to answer. And also, let me know what you think about all of this. Personally, I am very excited, and this inspires me for much more content to make, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that. This channel will be filled with classic WoW content for the next 2 years, both for TBC and Vanilla. With that, if you want to see more Classic TBC content right away, I will direct you to a video that I made about whether Classic TBC will be casual friendly or not. And also another video about a few mistakes that you need to avoid in TBC. You get to choose. And with that, as always, whatever you do, remember to have fun, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I will see you very soon. Bye for now.